Chrisade Dee here, author of the one series under Magkasita.
Where did I go wrong?
Hi! Check.
Yan, go. Try.
So, hi! Welcome to Chrisade Dee Writing Diaries. Anyone could write, but not everyone could be a novelist. It takes a lot more than it shows to be able to finish a story or even so to begin writing one. So in this video, I will be giving off tips that I hope I knew when I started venturing in this industry. So please do take note that all of the things I would say in this video are all based on my experience as a novel writer for almost 9 years. So I'll be giving off 9 tips to help you become a novelist. So tip number 1. Know if you really are ready to commit to writing. Writing takes more than talent to write. It requires a lot more than you think. Commitment, time, creativeness, research skills, etc. If you have it in you, then I guess writing could really be your calling. But when I was writing my first contracted novel, I had to convince myself a lot to continue writing the story. Because honestly, words doesn't just bleed out of you. There are times when you would want to give up because you can find the right words to suffice the scenes you made up in your mind. Even Google can't help you when you're hit with a writer's block. So the first step in becoming a novelist is knowing that you are all ready for it. For the frustration of not being able to write anything and the sudden rush of words that you almost can't keep up with it. Writing is a commitment that you need to make in order to finish a story. Tip number 2, finding your genre. After finally committing to writing, you need to find your genre. One genre that pulls you and your writing skills more than the others. A genre that highlights your skills and relates more to your personal experiences. A genre that makes writing feel like a hobby instead of a responsibility. A genre that almost doesn't pressure you because it's just there, in your mind. Your ideas going crazier more and more, and it's okay. You should find that genre for you. I'm certainly not saying that you should not write or try other genre. I was just saying that it will be a great start for you to begin writing in a genre you enjoy the most. Next tip is do an outline. This is speaking from experience. Doing an outline saves you from a writer's block, like literally. If you do an outline for your novel during your most productive times or when the idea of the novel hits you, then when the time comes that you've run out of ideas for that novel, you just have to go back to the timeline, take a short trip to your memory lane, and it will refresh or remind your mind what you really intended to do with the story you were writing. But you should also not let the outlines constrict your freedom of writing your story. Outlines are made to be a guide, not a guard. So if you wrote something in your outline and when you reach a specific part of the story, then you realize that the scene you had outlined from the beginning doesn't really catch us what you really wanted to happen in that part. In this moment, it's okay. It's okay to deviate away from the outline you made. No need to feel guilty because of it. It almost happens all the time. Right, cliche things. Cliche things because why not? When people absolutely swan over the usual things they read and hear. It's true that being a writer makes you want to stand out among the crowd. You wanted your story to be different and unique. Yes. But people love reading things that are comforting. Your readers will appreciate the cliche scenes of bumping into each other in the middle of a hallway, a knight in shining armor to rescue a damsel in distress, the murderer being the least suspected person, and many more cliche twists we usually read and watch. But you know what? I'm asking you to write cliche things with a heart wrenching, mind shattering, and soul slaying twist. Maybe one that the female lead had fallen in love to wasn't actually the end game since he cheated in the end. Maybe the knight in shining armor also needed to be saved. The murderer could have been some kind of vigilante hero that kills off the people who harm others. Cliche can just be cliche. Cliche can be more than common. We needed the cliche scenes in order to make the readers think that they know what's about to come next. Maybe let them build theories among themselves, only to be left dumbfounded in the end because of the twist you had prepared. But I must warn you, hell hot nor furry for reader scorn. You could receive cussing in some scenes, people blaming you for killing or hurting their favorite characters. Well, let me tell you, the more affected your readers are, the more it says that you were absolutely an effective writer since you were able to let them feel something from the story you had written. Next thing to consider before you write a novel is how you build up the story. Before you decided to write a novel, you probably read a dozen, if not 100 to 1,000 books before you had finally made up your mind that, okay, that's it, I'm going to write. So, you probably had read a lot of different styles in building the world of the story. Some writers do their research first about the places, diseases, articles, etc. that they're about to use in their stories to make it more realistic. But some writers write it based on their experiences and own languages. Well, I'm one of the writers who build up the world from scratch. I usually make my own places, name the diseases myself, make up my own articles or whatever information I need in the story. And it's okay, no matter what style you do, just make sure that you write it consistently and that you had taken notes of the informations you had used while writing the novel to avoid confusion or other conflicts regarding the details you've been using in your novel. So it depends on how you build up the story, how you introduce your characters, and everything. So next in line is searching for inspirations. So we have the Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube blogs, and other social media platforms, or even books written by another author, gives you ideas more than you could ever admit. And it's okay. Use portrayers if you need to. If you think you could describe your characters better that way, then do so. Use real places if you think that would make the story more interesting. Just don't forget to put a disclaimer about the story being fictional if it is. The media and internet offers a wide database of inspirations that are made available for you. So feel free to use them the way it would benefit you. Number 7, prepare a playlist. Music sets off mood in writing. Preparing a playlist for each story, or if you're writing different genres, it is also a good move to prepare a specific playlist for each of it to set off your mood whenever you needed to write something. It makes you feel more involved in the story. It gives you a personal involvement too. There are a lot of playlists available from known apps such as Spotify and YouTube Music, and also there are a lot of free sites that offer special sound effects, so feel free to try them. I assure you, it gives more vibes that pushes you to write more and it lets you put more feels in your story. Blurting out your dialogues. Blurting out your dialogues helps you make a novel that makes the readers feel like they were the ones saying it. It gives more substance and life to your novel. What's the use of using deep in old words that makes no sense for your readers? You're writing a novel, not an academic paper. Slang words exist for a reason. So last and definitely one of the most important thing in novel writing, which I wish I had known way before, is edit your manuscript. Be it written for a publishing house or for an online platform, edit it. I wasted almost years writing and posting it around the internet only to be noticed by readers last 2019, and that happened when I started editing the chapters I am uploading. It doesn't mean you need to especially hire a professional editor at that. Just proofreading it, checking for misspelled words, using the right contractions, R&D rules if you're writing Filipino novels, just the basic things you could do yourself, and it's enough to polish your story to attract more readers. Back when I first ventured in this industry, I had no one to back me up or someone to teach me what I should do or not do at that. And that is why I created this video to help those who wanted or who are interested in joining the writing community. This industry is surely wide and enjoyable. You get to meet new people that will teach you a lot about life, friendship, and family. But I must warn you that like every other industry there is, the writing community also have its dark areas. Areas that leads to toxicity and burnout. there is also a ladder that you need to climb in order to reach a certain level, a level where you will be able to create content that people will respect, will read, and will love. As a beginner in this industry, I would like you to know that much. Thank you, and I hope to hear from you guys. Let me know what you think about these things, and I would very much appreciate it if you could share some of your insights and experiences when it comes to writing as well. So that's it. See you on my next Writing Diaries series.